Well, it's the end of October and it's time for an update on the airplane. Let me show you what we got done. All right, so the end of last month, we were still working on these wingtips. As you can tell, the wingtips are now mounted onto the airplane. The navigation lights have been installed. The wingtip lenses have been installed. These wingtips have actually been riveted onto the wings. I chose to rivet rather than screw mount or hinge mount or all the other options, just because there's really easy access behind that nav light that's on the end once you take it out, and I just don't really see myself needing to take these out very often. But all the wiring, all the lights blink, everything looks fantastic on the airplane now. Also, the end of last month, we were working on the cowling of the airplane. It was pretty much just sitting there. It had not been trimmed, cut, sanded, shaped, nothing really other than just for show sitting onto the airplane. So now these pieces, both the top and the bottom cowling, have been cut and matched to the fuselage. If you look closely, you can see that the hinges have been riveted onto both pieces, both the side horizontal hinges, the vertical hinges, and the hinge that goes across the top. Mounting screws for the front have been done. The pins have been made. We've got an oil access door here that's been installed. Pretty much all that's lacking on the cowling now is sanding a little bit more, doing a filler primer on it, sanding that a little bit, and then sealing this with primer, and this is going to be ready to go onto the airplane. We might go ahead and do a little bit of filler along these rivets just to smooth it out, as well as some filler in some areas that I know are a little rough on the cowling. But all in all, not going to be too much more that we need to do on these. Another thing we got done on the bottom cowling is cutting in and installing these louvers. These are basically just another exit point for the hot air to come out of that cowling and away from the engine. And speaking of the engine, we've been doing a lot of baffle work this month. So these pieces have been trimmed and shaped, as you can see, to fit on the engine itself. Again, this is just what will box off that air and force it to go down in between the cylinders for cooling. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done here. Some more deburring, some more trimming. A lot of this will have to be trimmed and shaped, especially here in the front, to reattach the cowling onto the airplane, because this is going to be in the way. Once that's done, there'll be some more riveting. There is a seal that is attached to the top in different areas on this. So quite a bit more that needs to be done, but we are making some progress on that. Also this month, I fabricated a duct for our oil cooler. So instead of mounting the oil cooler on the baffle kit, I chose to do this just to get that extra weight on the firewall, not up here, because there's just stress, cracks, and issues that occur with that. So as you see, we've got an outlet here. There'll be a scat tube that'll come down to this here, and that will allow that air to blow through and cool the oil, but still keep all that extra weight and everything on the firewall. Another thing that we got done this month is installed these wing walks. So these are custom printed, basically for skateboard, actually a longboard, but the company can do whatever you want. So I did those up to label the airplane what it is, and also get that experimental badge on both wings so that I can check that off, because that is a requirement as an experimental aircraft to have that visible for passengers on the airplane. And another big thing that happened is that the registration did finally go through on the airplane. So she is officially November 823 Niner Alpha. So went ahead and got some vinyls made and applied those to the airplane now that that is complete and official with the FAA registration, that is the tail number of our aircraft. So thanks again for watching. Sorry for the jumping around here and there and everything on this video. But if you want more details on this, don't forget, check down in the comments. I'll leave links to our build log, and you get a lot more detailed information and pictures on what we're doing and the progress that we're making. But a lot got done in October. Looking forward to November. I like the cooler weather. I do better in the cold. Luckily, most of the fiberglass has been done, so I'm not too worried about not having the heat for the fiberglass to cure. So a lot of what we have left is just, like I said, firewall forward. We've got a little bit more to do on the baffle kit and the cowling, and then we're looking at just getting all the hoses, the connectors, the sensors, the power, everything else that needs to go to that engine, all done, all in place, and hopefully we'll be getting ready to fire this thing up and take it to the skies. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in a month.